Hi Ethan, this is Coach Smart from ABC Baseball Camps. I'm going to do your video evaluation of your hitting. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. Okay, let's talk about your setup, okay? I like how you have your feet. They're parallel right there. Okay, looks like your front foot might be slightly away from that line, not by much. Just make sure your feet are parallel when we start, okay? Looks like you might be slightly open. And we like to have your feet at parallel there. Okay? So if you are going to be slightly open, then we got to make sure that when you take your stride, you get back to parallel. It's pretty important you get to parallel. And the worst thing we want to do is we don't want to step open and then, well, we'll talk about that if that happens here. Let's watch you, okay? We'll get rid of that line so we can see good. Okay, so you get a nice load there. Your hands are in pretty good position there. Okay, a little bit of a leg kick, which is okay, as long as it's landing in the same spot every time. Okay, so let's talk about some stuff, Ethan. Okay, so Ethan, why do we stride? Okay, so yeah, second swing we kind of do the same thing with that foot. We kind of lean way out on that front side, and that's going to be really good for hitting balls on the inner half, Ethan, but it's going to be very difficult to hit balls any place but except for the inner half of the plate. So we got to make sure we get that front foot the same way. Let's look at your swing though, just from a standpoint of kind of disregarding that what you're doing with your front foot right now. From a swing standpoint, not too bad. You got your bat up pretty good. I like where you have your bat placed. And that bat should be right where it's at, which is a good move there. And at the point of contact, you're pretty good. The pitch is high, but you still maintain your a little bit of your power L there. Your left arm's in pretty good shape, so nothing to complain too much about there. Okay, so again, back to the stride though, buddy. Okay, make sure you understand why we stride. We stride for timing only. Okay. Okay, you do a good job of loading. You see yourself loading there. That's really good. So when you take your stride, you should not transfer any weight. Okay, the only thing that should go forward is your front foot. Okay, so you stride to maybe right to there, but you don't transfer weight. Let's see what you do to see if you transfer any weight. So by the time you land, you've already transferred all your weight, and your bat's still way back there. So we haven't even started our swing yet, basically. Okay, so we have to understand what this stride's all about. The stride is all about timing. How do we get on time with the pitcher? And we can't step and swing like you do, because when you start facing velocity, your foot's going to be in the air and the ball's going to be in the catcher's mitt. Okay, so real important that we understand the basic mechanics of what we're trying to do here. See, right now, oh man, Ethan, your feet are perfect. Look at that, perfect. But I'm afraid what I'm going to see is that you do that little jump move, and then your foot goes way back to that white line. Okay, and it's too bad because you got a pretty good understanding of the mechanics of the swing, but less understanding of what we do before the swing. What we do before the swing is just as important as what we do as we swing. Okay, so just to make sure you're and mom and dad are totally understand what we're trying to say here. Okay, everybody does the same thing. We load up, which you do a great job of. then there's a pause, and then we stride, followed by a slight pause before we initiate our swing. Before we initiate our swing. Okay? And you just are going forward and swinging at the same time. Okay? And you put yourself into some really good positions. I mean, that position right there for a point of contact is really good. That's pretty good. Okay? But the bad thing is that you have your front foot, pointing towards the pitcher right now. So any energy that you created by doing what's right, by driving that back knee like you have right here, you're driving it against nothing. There's nothing to drive that knee against. Okay, so again, it'd be like pitching, and then as you go to wind up, you just drop your left arm down and throw the ball. You'd have nothing behind you because you're not pushing against anything. So that part's got to get fixed. So I wouldn't change too much of what you're doing with your swing, but I would really recommend that you get that front foot taken care of and make sure that you're striding straight all the time. Remember, simple is repeatable. If it's technical, you have to think about it too much, it's going to be hard to repeat. And doing that big step and that big kick and landing in a different spot every time is going to make you inconsistent and make you unrepeatable. So my advice to you would be to make sure that we're landing in the same spot every time. And if you get that part figured out, Ethan, the rest of your things are going to kind of fall together for you. Thanks for coming to ABC Camps, and we'll see you next year. Bye-bye.